welcome to this Netframe demonstration video. My name is Andrew, and for those who may not be aware, Netframe is a new virtual infrastructure management platform from the team at Neon Dynamics. In this particular video, I'll be showing how to control Netframe infrastructure with AI. Stick around until the end, and I'll walk you through the setup steps so that you can do the same. For now, let's start by creating a Windows VM on our pre-deployed Netframe core hypervisor. Can you please deploy a Windows virtual machine with 4 vCPUs, 8 gigs of memory, a 100 gig disk in the local VM pool? Can you make sure that the network adapter is on the untagged VM network? Once you have deployed the virtual machine, please power it on. Let's call the virtual machine Windows Test VM. Okay, and we have our Windows Test VM deployed. We can see that it is starting up now, and we can begin the installation process of our Windows VM on Netframe. Let's have a look at how it configured it. It gave it 4 cores, 8 gigs of memory, and popped it onto the untagged VM network, which is exactly what we asked it to do. And it's attached the Windows ISO, so we know that that installation is going to run through as expected. There's also other things that we can achieve using AI control over our Netframe core host, such as performing basic host configuration settings. So at the moment, we have a time zone setting of Lord Howe Island in Australia, which is incorrect with NTP disabled. And if we have a look at syslog, we don't have any syslog servers configured. So let's fix all of that. Can you please change the time zone on my Netframe core host to be Melbourne, Australia? Make sure that NTP is enabled, and then also configure a syslog server target of 10.0.10.10 on UDP port 514. So if we jump over and have a look at the configuration now, we can see that we have the correct time zone, NTP is now enabled, and our syslog server has been configured. Let's jump over to Netframe Manager now, where we can perform some more advanced configuration changes. Can you please power on all of the virtual machines in the AU directory? All right, that power on process went through successfully. Some of them are running a little hot now that they're fired up. That's fine. We can just clear out those alarms. Now that we have that, let's power on one of these demo virtual machines. Can you please power on demo web 01 and give me the IP address of that virtual machine once powered on? And we now have its IP address, 10.2.1.172. We can grab this IP address. There is an Apache service running on that virtual machine, and we can see that it's running here. Can you please clone demo web 01, create a new virtual machine called demo web 03, and give me the IP address of this virtual machine once powered on? We can see that the clone action has begun. Now that activity is finished, we can see that the clone completed and we've been given a new IP address of 10.2.1.162. So let's see if we can reach that, and we can. And let's see if that has the same Apache page, and it does. Can you please live migrate demo web 03 to another host within the cluster? And we can see that live migration activity is starting now. We did drop one ping as the virtual machine live migrated, and we can see that web 03 is now running on host 2. Our Apache page is still working fine, and that live migration completed successfully. Can you please provide me with a capacity management report for AU cluster 01? Please leverage historical performance metrics for the hosts in that cluster, as well as analyze the current VM footprint, and give me an idea on how many more virtual machines I can deploy before I need to start worrying about HA failover compute constraints. So we can see here that our capacity management report has now been provided to us. Claude has gone out and had a look at the performance metrics for our hosts and the cluster and provided us with a couple of recommendations and feedback items. Overall, here's an example of what you can achieve with capacity management reporting. One other test that we're going to do here is develop or build out some additional hierarchical infrastructure. We can see that we have this staging directory here with 3 hosts and no virtual machines. So let's change that. At the moment, we have a demo region and an AU region. Can we please create an additional region, let's call it US, with a similar structure within the US region object, call the data center something familiar, something US based, and please move all hosts from the staging directory into a cluster within the US hierarchy tree. Please delete the staging directory as part of this process. Once you've created this cluster, please enable HA on that cluster. And the AI has finished making those changes. We can see that the hosts that were in the staging directory are now within their own cluster. The staging directory was removed. We have this new US region with its own directory structure and a cluster that has high availability enabled. So all of that was done just by asking the AI to talk to the Netframe APIs, use the OpenAPI specification, and produce this outcome. This environment, as I mentioned before, is a demo environment. So to finish off this video, I'm going to have the AI clean up everything and put us back ready to set up more infrastructure for a future demonstration. Can you please move all hosts from all clusters other than demo cluster 01 into demo cluster 01? Delete all other infrastructure hierarchy so that we only have the demo region and its contents. We can see that it's disabling HA on the clusters. So we can see that Claude has finished consolidating all of our infrastructure and virtual machines into one cluster. It's cleaned up the outstanding and no longer used infrastructure hierarchy. And now we have a nice clean environment that we can use to set up for other demos and testing purposes. If you wish to enable AI control of your Netframe environment, as I've done in this video, perform the following steps. Install Claude Code or ChatGPT Codex on your local machine. Download the Netframe Core and Netframe Manager OpenAPI specifications from the Netframe website. Place these files into the directory that you're going to start your AI agent from. Ask your AI to analyze the files and understand what they do. The final step is to give the AI a Netframe server address and an API key from that same Netframe target. At this point, your AI agent is ready to begin controlling your Netframe infrastructure. This concludes this demonstration video. I hope you've enjoyed seeing Netframe in action and what's possible when you couple it with AI. If you have any questions regarding Netframe, please jump over to our website, our subreddit, or LinkedIn page. We also have many more YouTube videos on the way, so do like and subscribe so you can stay tuned for all of the videos that we have coming up. My name is Andrew. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.